Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. So if that's you and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button below with the bell so you can get notifications for all the videos that I'm sharing here on this channel. We're going to talk about your month of March, what to expect, what you need to know to best navigate the month, and what messages that the angels have for you. So we're going to start first with this bottom row of cards that I've already pulled. I always like to have my cards pulled in advance so that we can dive right into the reading. So this bottom row is focused around the overarching themes that you're going to find yourself working on through the month. Now, as I take a look at this month, I'm going to be honest. I'm a Taurus too, so I see some challenge associated with that. I see a lot of growth associated with the month of March, okay? It's going to be a time where we are doing, I almost see it as like this last bit of work that we're doing, of clearing, of balancing, of understanding ourselves, of kind of wrapping up the work that we need to do on ourselves before we get to our birthdays. Okay, so this is sort of the end of our solar year stuff that we're working on, okay? So I see that very much. So know that we have a lot of work to do this month, but I also see as we're progressing that that's leading to some really, really incredible things, especially on the other side of our birthdays. So let's take a look at this bottom row with the themes. Okay, so the first card that we have here is the Hierophant, clarified by the Eight of Swords in reverse. And so the message that I get here with this Hierophant is a Taurus card, and it's very much about commitment. And that's the word that I hear and the word that I heard when I pulled this card. And I do think that this is about a commitment that we've made to ourselves. This is about something that you have told yourself that you would do, that you would follow through with, or that you would never do again, or that you, a promise that you have made to yourself in some way. And I see that there is sort of an energy creeping in where it's like, are you going to honor this promise that you've kept to yourself, or are you not? And I really see us with this Eight of Swords in reverse being in our heads a lot about that, really taking a look at, okay, what do I really want? What do I want to commit myself to? What are the commitments that I want to make to myself, to other people? And how does this align with the commitments that I've already made to myself? You know, where have I made promises to myself that I haven't kept? Where have I, not honored those things that I know are really, really important for me? So I see us taking a look at that and, again, spending a lot of time in our heads kind of processing that. And I think that the energy is going to feel kind of stuck, kind of excuse me, kind of stuck, kind of challenging, in that I think that it's really going to be something that we're processing a lot throughout the month. And I think that ultimately we are going to get to those light bulb moments where it's like, okay, this is what I need to do. These are the actions that I need to take. This is how I need to honor myself or honor my commitments to myself. But I think it maybe is going to take a little bit of time. So don't feel like you have to have the answers right away, or don't feel like you have to immediately take action on certain things. I think that we will know throughout the month when it's the time to take action. And when it's time to take action here with this Courage card, we're going to need to dig deep. We're going to need to really tap into that strength and that courage within to do the things that need to be done. And I think in some ways, like, this is not going to be an easy thing. I think that in some ways, it's really going to hit against the ego in some way. You know, if you're feeling like, for example, if you made a commitment to yourself, I'm not going to stay in this job another year, or I'm going to start to do this thing that I've always wanted to do, and you haven't done it yet, take a look at the fear that's holding you back. Take a look at what is preventing you from moving forward with something that you know that you need to do, or that you know that you need to change in your life. And it's going to require courage. I think there's a lot of fear around whatever this is based on your own unique situation. And the card says, let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. So I do see us being shown what are the steps. How do I honor this commitment to myself? How do I get myself out of a particular situation? How do I begin to take steps in the direction of my dreams? How do I move forward and honor that commitment that I've made to myself? So I see us really digging deep and connecting with the courage. It is going to require courage. So understand that and know that you have everything within you to do this, and you have divine support. You are divinely supported. And so whenever I'm struggling with something like that and I'm taking a leap of faith, or I'm needing to connect to my courage, I always call on God, and I always say, please show me the way. Please support me in this. Please help me with this. And it allows me to feel that divine support. I'll start to notice signs and synchronicities that are really showing me that I'm supported, or things will happen that will just make that path so much easier. So whatever that higher power is for you, call on it and ask to be given the courage, ask to be shown the steps, ask to have the clarity of mind to do what needs to be done here. Now, the next card that we have here is this Page of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the Star card. So I think this month is very much going to be a time where, as a Taurus, we're starting to understand our worth on a deeper level. And there is an energy of understanding that, you know, I have a lot that I bring to the world. I am a light in this world. I am, you know, I've worked really hard at a lot of things, and I want to be treated in a way that I feel valued. So that might be within your personal relationships. That might be within your work. You might get an offer, because the Page of Pentacles in reverse is like an offer that we take a look at and we say, that's not good enough. That doesn't work for me. So it might be somebody who's trying to show up in your experience that is showing up in a way that feels very half-assed, or gives you an offer that is not in alignment with the commitments that you've made with yourself, or gives you an offer that feels like it doesn't honor you. Or it can be, you know, you're offered some kind of a new position with work, or a raise, and it just is so minimal that it's not going to work for you. It's not aligning with the value that you know that you have. So this is really about understanding your value and understanding your worth, and understanding the work that you've done on yourself and all of the things that you've done to develop yourself, letting yourself be the star, letting yourself be the light, letting yourself really understand that you do deserve recognition. You do deserve to be paid what you're worth. You deserve to have people in your life that value and honor you. And so I think that some of the changes that Taurus is going to be making throughout this month are going to be aligned with that. The next set of cards we have here for overarching themes are the Eight of Pentacles, clarified by the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is showing up in reverse twice here in the spread. There's very much a mental battle that's happening throughout this month. It's very much, you know, I feel like this is like a battle between ego and soul, if I'm honest. I think that your ego and that fear-based part of you wants one thing, and I think that your soul understands that there's something else that you need to be putting your time and your energy into, or that there's a better way, or there's another path. So I see that being a battle that we're exploring in our head. And I think what's going to be really important is to take a look at what feels like ego, what feels like fear, and what feels like my intuition, what feels like what my soul wants to do, the direction and path that my soul wants to take. But I think in true Taurus fashion, that we may find ourselves focusing on work, focusing on working on ourselves, or creating something, or working harder at something, you know, making those pentacles, making that money, focusing on that, and or focusing on our own personal development. And it's not a bad thing. But they're definitely, with this Two of Swords showing up here twice in this spread, it's saying, yes, work on yourself, focus on the you know, the goals that you have, the things that you want to be working on, but also keep coming back to this thing that's in your mind. Keep coming back to this decision that you're trying to make, or this thing that you're trying to understand. Keep coming back to that and connecting with what your soul wants you to do, what your intuition is guiding you to do, because I think that ultimately you are going to be making some decisions there, and you don't want to avoid that too much. Yes, it's okay to make money, but don't, you can't run from your soul. And I think that that's important here. So the next row of cards we're going to take a look at are challengers, barriers, or advice here. So right off the bat, we've got this Two of Swords here in reverse, again, clarified by the Justice card in reverse. So something in connection with whatever it is that we're trying to understand, we're trying to decide about, we're trying to make a decision, maybe we're having a battle in our mind about, is over something that was not handled in a way that we feel was fair, or was handled in a way that feels unjust or immoral, or somebody didn't treat you fairly, somebody didn't do something in a fair way, or a situation wasn't handled in a fair way. And as much as this is frustrating, I really see this being the jumping off point that triggers us to move forward, that triggers the Taurus to maybe make some decisions that normally we would be too afraid to make. It helps us to connect with our courage, because I think that we get frustrated. I think that we recognize where certain things are no longer aligning for us, and it is that spark that we need to ultimately make that decision. And the message here also is to not get so caught up in the idea that something isn't fair that you hold yourself back, that you stay stuck in that energy, that you are obsessing over something that you can't do anything about. And so I always like to say that, karma takes care of it. And karma will take care of it. So you don't have to take care of it. Understand that the energy that people are putting out is the energy that they ultimately are going to be receiving back. So you don't have to do a thing. All you have to do is focus on yourself and your well-being, and deciding what it is that your soul is showing you. That's going to be important. What is 10 of Cups going to make you happy? What is going to fill your cup? What is going to bring you joy? What is going to be that vision that you have for yourself, for your life, that is really creating that heaven on earth? What kind of family do you want to have? What kind of experiences with the people in your world do you want to have? How do you want to feel? And I think that there's this shift into understanding that if I want heaven on earth, I have to create it, and I have to make decisions that are in alignment with that. Because if I continue on the same path that isn't serving me, that is going against promises that I've made for myself, then it's not going to work. It's absolutely not going to work. And speaking of that, we have this delusion card, right? So it says intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. So this is really saying you can put it out there all day long in your prayers, in your intentions, the things that you want, but if you're not making decisions that align with that thing, then you're wasting your time and your energy, right? You're going to be shown the actions that you need to take. You're going to be shown the things that need to happen next, those next steps that are on your path. And if you choose to not take them, that's your free will. That's your choice. But it's also not going to lead you in the direction of manifesting those things that you want to manifest. I also see here with this 7 of Pentacles in reverse and 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So again, we have that 8 of Pentacles showing up twice. Kind of a frustration, right? So remember I said, yes, do the work, focus on your work, focus on making money, focusing on taking care of your body, focusing on your goals, all of that stuff. That's really good, but don't do it to your own detriment. So what I mean is, don't do it to avoid the emotion, to avoid the thoughts that you're needing to pay attention to don't do it to avoid the decisions that you need to be making, because that would be a mistake this month. It's important that we're making those decisions. And I also feel like with that 7 of Pentacles in reverse, there is kind of an impatience. There is sort of a frustration in I feel like we're kind of saying, what the heck, universe? I've planted all of these seeds. I've done all of these things. I've focused on setting my intentions and taking action in that direction. where is the reward? Where is the manifestation of that? And so there is sort of a frustration with that here in this month. And I do feel like we're going to get there in divine timing. And so there has to be that trust. There has to be that understanding that if you continue down the path and you continue to pour yourself into things that light you up, that excite you, continue to listen to your intuition, you're absolutely going to get there. And that may involve certain work that you need to do or certain changes that you need to make in order to create the space for these very things that you want to manifest to actually manifest. Sometimes we need to make room, right? The next cards that we have here is the Seven of Wands, clarified by the Devil card in reverse. This is very much an energy of choosing your battles, of choosing what you are willing to fight for in your life and what you're no longer willing to fight for in your life, what you're no longer willing to put up with in your life. And when I was pulling the cards, I became very aware of the way that he is very big in this image, right? Like he's standing on top of this land, and it just appeared to me that he was like almost like a giant, right? And to me, this is a message of understanding that while you may have opposition, while you may feel like you're in battles in some way or challenges showing up for you, stand strong, honor your truth, honor your commitments to yourself, honor what feels best and right for you, and you will be victorious. In fact, I think in some ways, like, you'll feel like that giant, going against someone so much smaller. You'll feel like you have the power. You'll feel like you have the ability to handle the battles that are coming up for you. So I very much see that, and feeling like you have the ability with this Devil card in reverse to set yourself free from some things that have been keeping you stuck, that have been keeping you feeling like you're caged in, you're stuck, you're struggling, maybe a pattern or a habit that you have that doesn't serve you, but you felt really stuck in it. And I really see this month being the month where we start to get unstuck, where we start to release ourselves from things that maybe have been around for a long time, keeping us stuck. And it starts with us. It starts with us making those changes for ourselves. So the top row of cards that we have here is where we're moving in the future and what this is going to look like in the near future. So this is where the energy really starts to shift. So we do this work throughout the month, right? And then we have this Ten of Swords clarified by the Empress card. Empress is another tarot card, or another Taurus card in the tarot, okay? And it's, by the way, my absolute favorite card. We're making a decision with this Ten of Swords to let something come to an end. And this is something that we have wanted to let come to an end for a long time. But maybe we haven't felt like we had the courage. Maybe we didn't feel like we had the strength. Maybe we wanted to keep going or keep trying. But as you can see, there's a situation that is just done, that's just over, that needs to be put to rest. It's time to let a cycle come to a close. It's time to let something that, if we're honest with ourselves, has been over for a while. It's time to let that come to a close. And what that allows for is this Empress energy. It's time to come back to our power. It's time to come back to our natural, abundant Taurus energy, where we understand that we are a magnet for all things and that we are always being provided for. We are always being taken care of. And it's almost like we shift into a trust. We shift into this understanding that we are divinely supported and divinely taken care of. And this is also about giving birth to something new. So endings that lead to giving birth to something new, endings that allow us to put time and energy into some things that maybe we haven't connected with in a long time, that we've set aside, or I just feel like we've created space, and what comes in that space is the manifestation of so many things that we've been asking for, right? We become the magnet. That's what this Empress energy is all about. We become the magnet. We understand our worth. We understand what we deserve, and we act as if, we act as such in that energy. It allows us to open to the energy of receiving. So I see a lot of abundance that's coming through, especially on the other side of March, especially as we get closer and closer to the new year for us, to our birthdays, okay? With this receiving card, it says, every day becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. We're going to be moving into a time where we're so much more connected to that, to the divine plan, to being in flow, to being provided for by God, by the universe, and understanding that it all will come if we allow ourselves to be open to receiving, open to receiving guidance, open to receiving abundance, open to receiving amazing things that are wanting to come in for us. The next set of cards that we have here is the Seven of Swords in reverse and clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so this is an independent energy. This is I just hear, I did it all by myself, you know? So maybe there's something that you've been working on that you have wanted to do by yourself that is finally going to happen. You know, we had that Seven of Pentacles, we had that Eight of Pentacles, and now we have the Nine of Pentacles. We see the seeds that we have planted, maybe for years and years and years, starting to sprout in the spring, starting to blossom, starting to develop, and it's really, really beautiful. And we're leaving behind the ways that we have sabotaged ourselves in the past, the ways that we have prevented ourselves from being successful. We're recognizing how we've sabotaged ourselves. We're recognizing how we have blocked the energy, and it's leading into this beautiful development of success and money and opportunities, whatever it is that you're manifesting. Such an abundant energy here in this top row. And then the last set of cards that we have here is the Temperance card, clarified by the Fool card. There's definitely a new beginning that's coming in with this Fool card, but this is a new beginning that is all about divine timing. So it may have been something that we've wanted to start for a long time, but the timing wasn't quite right. And I think here in the month of March, we're going to recognize some actions that we need to take, some things that we need to move forward with finally. And definitely there's an energy of taking leaps of faith, digging deep and connecting with that courage and that strength to do what needs to be done in order to get us where we need to go. And I definitely see that, but I also see that it's aligned with the divine timing. And so we're really going to see that, and we're going to see how supported we are, and we're going to see some things that we've been waiting on for a long time moving forward and allowing us to connect with that Nine of Pentacles energy and that Empress energy, that abundant energy, that manifestation energy. So I think that it's going to be a really exciting time as we get closer and closer to our birthdays. So those are your messages for the month of March 2022. If you guys connect with these messages, please make sure that you like this video. It really helps us support the channel. I always love to hear from you also in comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet and this channel is for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button below as well. Thank you guys so much. If you want to learn more about my membership site or my website, my services that I have, you can check those out. Both of those links are down in the comments in the description box below. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.